Hey guys, my name is David. I am the founder of FlyHi Photography based here in Colorado Springs. Today I'm going to be going over the key points to prepare your listings for photos and video. This will make it easier on your seller, you, and for sure the photographer. Using a professional company like FlyHi Photography can help your listing stand out to other buyers and sell faster in a competitive market that we're in. But unfortunately, getting your listing prepared can be very stressful for everyone. At FlyHi Photography, we understand that, and we have the best tools to help you out. At our core is real estate photos. With the tools that we provide, not just this checklist to prepare your listings, but content delivery. We want to streamline how you order your images online, deliver your content with a single platform to manage all your photos, listing websites, listing flyers, and so much more so you stand out from your competitors. We have created this handy checklist to prepare your listing for your photos and videos. There are just a few things that we wanted to suggest before our photographers show up, and these are the main questions that everybody asks, all the agents ask, and it's like, what should we do to prepare? Minimum, the house should look clean and organized. Second, decluttering countertops go a long way, makes the house look more open and inviting. Smaller things such as removing visible garbage cans can make the house look a lot cleaner. And most important, check to ensure every light fixture in the home turns on with working light bulbs. We can edit those light bulbs in, but it does cost a little bit money, but we can go ahead and take care of you on that. Certain things we want to keep in mind as we're going on here. What we're going to talk about is exterior, interior, kitchen, driveway, and blinds. So let's start out with number one. Check the lights that are inside. In this photo, you can actually see that there are two light bulbs that are not eliminated. It doesn't really affect how we shoot. The photos will still come out the same. It just really does stand out from the rest. So you can see that there's only 3 lights that are turned on and the other 2 aren't. And the reason why we ask you to check that before we show up, it just helps out to make sure that the shoot goes a lot quicker and complete quickly. So going on to number 2, open the blinds. Natural light is always the best. If you can look in this photo here, you can actually see through to the grass in the backyard. That makes the home look more realistic. So keeping the blinds all the way up, just enough for natural light to come inside, will be ideal. One of the biggest points I will give you guys right here is if the blinds don't go up or they won't stay up, leave them be. Keep it simple. This one is actually a really fun one to always talk about. Before the photographer shows up, let the seller know, pull their vehicles out, maybe park down the street or park it in the driveway. We won't take photos of houses that have a vehicle that's in front. We can remove that item. Again, that's an additional cost, and if this is your first listing, we want to keep that cost down as best as possible. So then, the reason why we ask for the cars to be pulled out is so that the driveway doesn't look cramped. Most of these people that are going to be buyers are going to be looking on at these photos, and they don't want to see if they're driving a Nissan or an Audi or anything like that. So the best thing to do is go ahead and remove those vehicles, so then the driveway doesn't look so damper and makes it look better in the photos. Now this one here, we're going to jump back to the blinds, the action plan for the blinds. I know there's different type of blinds that they go up and they twist, or the curtains that go sideways. So the rule of thumb is horizontal blinds and shutters. It is best to keep the horizontal blinds down. However, opening the blinds in a flat position or open to see the exterior or open all the way. The exception for any of this is if there's like a house next door, neighbor that you guys don't want to see, or if there's stuff in the yard that you don't. In that case, turn the shutters just a tad upward, just a little, where there's still light coming in and we can kind of still see outside, but don't open them all the way or open them to the ceiling. Vertical blinds usually look best fully open. the most important thing is that any wall with multiple windows coverings, just adjust them all at the same. Alright, on to number 4, put away toiletries. You can see in these pictures here, you see the one on the right, there's nothing really there. There's a little bit staging, but there's no toothbrush, makeup, hair products, mouthwash. On that left side, that's where you can actually see that, and you can kind of see how it just overruns this picture. And then again, if you look right above, you can see that picture of the light bulb. The light bulb is out, so but you can't tell too much in that one. But back to all the stuff that's on the counter. While preparing for our photo shoot, go around there, see if you can put that maybe in the bathtub or put it underneath the sink, or maybe into a closet. Certain things like this only takes a few minutes for you to go in there and help out, and it means the world to a potential buyer. Next one, hide all the trash cans, inside and out. Visible trash cans on a listing photos is a really bad eyesore, and when a client's looking at it, it will give that sense that you're trying to cover up something if it's a trash can that's in a kitchen. So if that's the case, take that out, put it in the garage, or that you're not very taking it serious for this listing for these photos. Now, our photographers will always do our best to remove those trash cans away and then put them back, but any additional help that you guys can do, definitely do that for us. So hidden secret on this part here, when in doubt, hide it out. Number 5, this is my favorite one here. Utilize the garage. Tuck and hide. Using the garage as a storage unit, because typically we won't shoot a garage unless there's something just like drastic about the garage, like it's fully furnished, it's got a lift in there, but typically we won't shoot the garage. That doesn't really affect a sale, a buy and sale for the house. It is, so I can definitely say that the garage is the best place to use for storage. You can hide garbage cans, trash, large items, and of course you can pull the car in there if there's enough room in there, so instead of driving down the street. Another hidden secret, when in doubt, hide it out. And of course, even if it is a cluttered area in a garage and you do want that picture, and say the homeowner decided to put everything inside that garage, don't worry, we can actually go ahead and get that moved out for you. Let me see here. Oh, wrong way. And that's what it looked like. That's actually the same exact garage. Wanted to kind of give you guys a little good example of us decluttering and just trying to keep it simple for you guys. I want to go ahead and change the pace a little bit. Right here, I just wanted to go through a shot list. Typically, when our photographers show up to a house, we will shoot the house as it needs to be presented on the MLS, meaning that we'll start from the outside to the interior, around the interior to the backyard, then back inside, and then finish the job with our drone images and our 3D tours. So we call it the start of our FlyHi journey. We will go ahead and do a couple photos in the front, and that usually typically is about 3 to 4, and then we come in and we do the foyer or the living room, and we'll do about 4 photos in the living room. From there, we'll go ahead and do the kitchen to the dining room. As soon as we're done, that's usually like the first floor, we'll go to the master bedroom, and we'll do a couple photos in there, usually about 3, 4, depending how big it is, and then the master bathroom, 2 photos, and then of course we'll go to the other bedrooms that are inside the house and the other bathrooms. Typically, we won't shoot any type of closets or small bathrooms if they're just small powder rooms where the toilet's on the left side and the sink's on the right side. Our lens that we use unfortunately can't catch that, but we will do our best. We just don't want to waste a photo on a sink or of course not a toilet. And then anything for our unfinished basements, we typically won't shoot either. Now the agent can request that, where we just take one photo and they can put that kind of like in their back pocket. They typically won't post that on the MLS because it's an incomplete or unfinished basement. But at least if somebody asks, say, hey, there's no photos of the basement, do you have it? And you're like, here you go. It comes in handy. Here's another bathroom, prepping, going back to everything being clutter. This is more of showing that what you should do. For one, the toilet sheets should be always down, the lid should be closed, and double check if there's any like fingerprints on the mirrors. You can see in these photos that these mirrors don't have any fingerprints. Again, it's just a small little task. It only takes you a few minutes to go through and wipe certain things down. Homeowners are already stressing out, so you just jump on there and help them out on certain things that they may not see. Potential buyers will definitely take advantage of walking into a bathroom and just seeing how clean it is, how organized it is. So definitely don't skip over that again. The next part, obviously, the kitchen. It is the main heart of a house. A lot of the potential buyers will glance at the kitchen. They go through it really quick. One of the biggest things I can definitely tell you is do not avoid cleaning this part up as well. It definitely shows that you could be a neglectful realtor. Ensure that you clean the kitchen sink. Make sure that pots and pans are put away. Any type of towels that are hanging over the oven, put those away, stash it away, wipe things down. It definitely goes a long way as well. This one right here is kind of like a touchy subject, just because some homeowners aren't capable of removing their pets. Putting them in a room can really stress out an animal. And then, of course, maybe the photographer might miss that room because that animal is inside that room. But try to make a plan. Explain to them if it's a cat. Like, you can actually see the cat in this photo right here in the bottom left here. I didn't even notice that until we were done editing, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a cat in the photo. But if it's a cat, ask them, hey, can we take the cat litter box? Can we put it outside? Can we put it in the garage? When in doubt, hide it out. And any type of dog bowls, dog trays, dog leashes, and stuff like that. It's not the fact that we don't love pets. It's just when a potential buyer is looking at a house and they do see that it's full of pets, that could turn them away of looking at the house or calling you to show for a listing. So, and we've seen so many rodents, and we've had birds land on our shoulders. I've had a cat jump on me once. And of course, the dogs have been bit a couple times. It's just a lot easier on the photographer and lots less stress on the animal if there's a way that maybe the homeowner can go for a walk and then allow the photographer to do their shots and do their business. This is another key point here too, is when the photographer is taking the photos, they're concentrating on their certain angles and their settings. There's a lot going on than just clicking a button and then taking a photo. They need to concentrate on what type of shot they're going to take, and so it's very important for them to focus. So if the homeowner can go take the dogs out for a walk, or if they don't have dogs or kids, they can go out, but letting the photographer focus on their shoot really does help them out a lot. This next one here is alerting the neighbors. I've got a great story with this one here. We ended up having a situation, not a really bad situation, but one of our pilots went out and was taking photos of a house from the air, and the neighbor comes out yelling, screaming. And when our pilots are flying, it's another important pay attention to detail, because we are in federal airspace. We are all fully licensed and insured since we are doing commercial work. But this neighbor came out yelling at one of our pilots, and he was yelling, saying, I'm gonna shoot it down. What are you doing? And our pilots was like, no, we're just taking one photo or two photos of this house. We're just focusing on this. Let me go ahead and do my job really quick. I'll land and I'll answer any questions. Well, he said, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna shoot that down. Well, in that situation, that's really bad, just because we are pilots and we are covered underneath the FAA regulations. So, we nicely tell them, like, hey, as much as we want a new drone, we don't want to see you go to jail for taking down an aircraft and then obviously breaking out a firearm. The stories that we have are endless that we see, but letting the neighbors know that you are the real estate agent for this listing, that there is going to be a photographer that's going to be coming here on Monday at 3 o'clock, lets them know. So then, of course, if they see us in the backyard or flying a drone, they don't get alerted, they don't call the cops or anything like that, or they don't come over asking a bunch of questions, distracting the photographer. So, and then, of course, it could very well lead to a lead for you. You letting the next door neighbor that you're listing their next door neighbor's house, and they could very well ask you, hey, well, how much are they selling it for? Can I get your card? Next thing you know, you got a new client, so you got a new seller. And for the last bit of this, we always try to make sure that we answer any type of questions when we're about to leave. And the number one question is, when will the images be available to be viewed? That's coming from the seller, your guys' clients, as well as the agent. And we deliver next day by the end of that day. So if it's on a Wednesday, we will deliver your images by Thursday by the end of business. Now, we do offer a rush, which is $25, and we'll get that to you before 9 a.m. the following day. That comes in handy, especially if you're trying to put that on the market, put in the MLS as fast as possible. But it's always good to let your sellers know that you should have the images the following day by the end of business. So then, of course, they're not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning or noon, blowing your phone up saying like, hey, where's our photos? Where's our photos? Give that expectation of that timeline will go a long way, and good communication to your seller is good too. Now, that is the end of our checklist for you guys, for you guys' listings. I hope that helps out a lot. I will be happy to answer any questions. What I want you guys to all do is jump on your guys' phone, go to our website, that's flyhiphotography.com, and create an account. And then so when you do get that listing, you guys can go ahead and instantly go online. You'll be able to type in the address. You'll see our calendar that's available on there. Our calendar determines what our schedule is. So then, of course, communicating with your seller right there, you're telling them that we have to get the carpets cleaned, we have to clean the house, and then hey, we're going to do our photos. Here's the days that the company that we're going to go through, FlyHi Photography, here's the days, the time that they're available. Again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to go over this with me. Any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. You guys can give me a call as well at 719-313-8695. And you guys have a great day. Thank you.